everybody. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Wednesday, November 24th, 2021. Jeremy Crosby, glad you're tuning with us this evening. Maybe you haven't left. Maybe your journey hasn't started. Maybe you're getting ready for the big feast tomorrow. Maybe you're not doing anything. I don't know. Whatever the case is, we're glad you're here with us as we work into the holiday weekend. And I know a lot of you will have off starting tomorrow through the weekend. So enjoy the long weekend. If you have to work on Friday, thank you. We appreciate it. for certainly folks like me, this guy, he appreciates that. But whatever the case is, it's truly going to be a great weekend. A little bit cold though, so like today might be the day. If you haven't got those lights up yet, you're going to do it. Like today's the day, I would say. It's going to be cold for a while here moving forward. So, well, I'm sure we'll get another warm spell in there, but never know. But yeah, I'm looking forward. I think I'm going to kick the lights on tonight, Bamlet. I've got a few ground things to finish off, of course, but put the timer on. Some of the neighbors that we have where we live, they put up on the light or on the power poles, they put up the old, I don't know, they put up these decorations. I've never seen them do it before for all this I've lived here, but I was working from home yesterday. I got to see them put it for the first time. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, so those are up. So I'm like, well, those are up. I got to go now. Like, well, they're up, mine are on. That's the way I roll. So yeah, my daughter's off today. So we're hoping to work on some of that some point this evening and do it before again drops out and gets cold again. But we got a busy show for you. Oh, I forgot the last day of asking Andrew some Thanksgiving side dish specials here. So we've been saying, is he in and out on different things here? So we did cranberries on Monday. Yesterday we did two. What did we do? Stuffing and I can't remember the other one. Green bean casserole. You're right. All right. So now we got to move into 3 items today. So I'm gonna throw in a ham. I know it's not a side dish, but a lot of people do turkey and ham on this, So we'll go ham. Let's see here. What other good one? Some type of dessert. So I'm gonna pick pumpkin pie, and we'll go. We need one other side dish. What are your classic ones? Oh, some type of a corner potato. Corner potato, right? All right, we'll go mashed potato. We'll go mashed potato. All right, so is he in? So first and foremost, the ham. Andrew says, "Oh yeah, he's a ham guy. He's a ham guy. That's all right. I am too. I like the ham. You can tell I like the ham. Yeah. Oh yeah. I like the ham. We'll save the pie one for last. How about the potatoes? Any potato dish, doesn't matter what it is. It's gonna be good. Not sweet. Well, we'll keep it. He says not sweet potatoes. I'm saying like the normal potato, mashed, baked, fried, whatever. It's gonna be there. All right. And pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. It is Andrew's favorite. I know it's Andrew's favorite, so I had to give him a win on something. So there you have it. We hope you have a fun one. Pumpkin pie, apple pie is my favorite. So you know me, you know apple pie. But yeah, definitely top 5 pumpkin. Oh yeah. And I was told that I'm going to my wife's family's tomorrow, Mr. Parent's house, and her grandma sent a pumpkin pie. Nobody likes pumpkin pie but me, so I get a whole pie to myself. Little whipped cream, whoo, whoo, it's gonna be great. So, anyways, I hope you have a really good Thanksgiving, everybody, and so thankful to be able to get back with some of your family this year. Hopefully, pending how things are working for you, but just make it another safe holiday, and we'll keep getting closer and closer together, right? And get through this pandemic together. We got a busy show. We'll get you the latest and headlines here in just a moment. We'll check in on continue our shopping series and finish out today to make sure you're set. So we'll talk with Department of Ag, Trade, Consumer Protection on their shopping tips, including Black Friday. And we're going to continue with our veteran of safety, Tiffany Schultz. She'll be your Better Business Bureau. She's going to get you ready for Cyber Monday. So we've spent the week getting you ready for all these different shopping opportunities. But certainly we want to make sure that you are shopping and not getting yourself into any trouble. Because there's a lot more shopping online. We know what's happening. It's like Cyber Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? It's already happening. So we want to make sure that you get what you are wanting to get this year as far as your holiday shopping goes. All right, let's jump into the headlines. And speaking of the holidays, at last night's Common Council meeting, a proclamation was held, and Mayor Richardson sharing this about Small Business Saturday.
Proclaiming November 27th, 2021 as Small Business Saturday in the city of Fitchburg. Whereas the Common Council of Fitchburg, Wisconsin celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. According to the United States Small Business Administration, there are currently 31.7 million small businesses in the United States, representing 99.7% of all businesses with employees in the United States, are responsible for 64% of net new jobs created over the past 20 years. And whereas small businesses employ over 49% of all businesses with employees in the United States. And whereas 89% of all consumers in the United States agree that small businesses contribute positively to the local community by supplying jobs and generating tax revenues. And whereas 87% of consumers in the United States agree that small businesses are critical to the overall economic health of the United States. And whereas 93% of consumers in the United States agree that it is important for people to support the small businesses that they value in their community. And whereas the city of Fitchburg, Wisconsin supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our neighborhoods. And whereas advocacy groups as well as public and private organizations across the country have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, I, Aaron Richardson, Mayor of the city of Fitchburg, Wisconsin, do hereby proclaim November 27th, 2021 as Small Business Saturday, and urge residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. Adopted this 23rd day of November, 2021.
All right. Make sure you check in on those small businesses right here in Fitchburg. We got a lot of great businesses and good opportunity to buy local this holiday season. All right. Turning our attention to the fire department, a couple different fires happening. It's been pretty dry out lately, and brush fires across the county definitely up, including here in Fitchburg. Got a couple of to take you out to. First, early in the afternoon or early morning yesterday, I should say, Fitchburg Fire Department on scene of an outside fire. Fire was extended into a tree line due to the wind conditions. Engine 3 from Fitchburg, Brush 1, Tender 2, Car 1, and Verona ATV 1, along with the Fitch-Verona Med 46, responded to the area of Wayland Road in Fitchburg Road to put out this brush fire, as you can see here. And then later in the evening, around 1940, we had the fire department and Fitch-Verona EMS respond to another brush fire. This time it was in the median of Highway 14. Conditions are dry and wind speeds are contributing to the spread of these fires. Caution should be exercised with any outside fire until conditions improve. Yes, very dry out right now. And Fitchburg wasn't the only place that I heard of brush fires yesterday. So please probably think twice here before doing any fires, especially it's just been really windy lately. So it's going to continue to do that moving on here. Also from the Fitchburg Fire Department, they're working on some new visual mapping up at Corey Ridge Mountain Bike Path. And we know that they have the signage up there now and the markers, but now they're working on imaging. So it says on the trail, collecting mapping data from the city engineer and Mandy Communications. Images were collected to improve emergency response time at the Corey Ridge Mountain Bike Pass. Capital Off-Road Pathfinders is also part of pulling this all together. Pretty cool technology. And again, this will allow for better access when the fire department does have to respond, or I should say, public safety, fire, police, EMS, when they have to respond to a call there, they'll be able to locate patients a little bit faster. All right, I want to remind you that our city campuses will be closed for the holidays. City Hall will be closed starting tomorrow and Friday, and will reopen back up on Monday. And the library closes at 5 p.m. tonight through November 26th. So keep that in mind if you are planning any trips to City Hall or the library. Finally, face covering emergency order number 5 has been issued. This was issued yesterday. It's effect on November 27th. Adds an exception for fully vaccinated groups of people. The rest of the order is for my face covering emergency order number 4. This all expires on January 3rd. You can read the full release online at the Madison or Public Health of Madison in Dane County. But keep that in mind as you head out for this holiday weekend if you're doing some shopping or whatever the case may be. All right, that does it for our headlines. Coming up next, we're going to talk with our friends at the Department of Ag, Trade, Consumer Protection, keeping you protected as you head out for Black Friday or whatever shopping you're going to be doing this holiday season. Next, right here on Talking Fitchburg.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Hey, boss. Okay.
Said I'm fine.
Put me to bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. Where you at underlay in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me, a new face to the Department of Ag, Trade, Consumer Protection team. Welcome, Michael, to the show. Michael, how are you doing?
Great, Jeremy. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. Welcome in to Talking Fitchburg. We appreciate your time. You are joining a wonderful team. We've been partnered with DATCP for quite a while now. And love sharing out the consumer safety tips. So welcome to the show, and you get the pleasure of talking about holiday season consumer tips. We're protecting people this holiday.
I do. Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate the opportunity to be here and excited to join the team. One thing we want to kick off as we get into the shopping season, it is the busiest time of the year, and we're starting to see some early promotions for Black Friday already. You'll see the advertisements coming out for those prices being offered early, and it's typically earlier and earlier. One thing that we want to make sure you look for is reading the fine print. Some of those Black Friday prices are only offered during a limited time, and as we're still a week and a half out from that actual shopping day, there's a certain time strain on what those are, when they're being offered. And another thing to really look at is when are they being offered, either in store, online, paying attention to what the specifics are for that particular price. When you want to look at those things, you also have to pay attention to what are the return policies, what are the specifics on when you can get them, are there going to be any shipping delays? You know, that's one thing we've noticed we're hearing a lot about is the delays for several reasons on when things will come in. So make sure you're paying attention to all those things when you're shopping this season.
Yeah, it seems like, of course, we know the holiday shopping season seems to start earlier and earlier and earlier. Like I've seen Black Friday ads in, way in June. But overall, do you think because there's more online shopping happening and stuff that the promotions and stuff get really confusing for people, and that could get them into trouble for paying more or not getting it in time because of the online presence as well?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think all of those things that you mentioned are certainly worth considering. In today's marketplace, as you mentioned, there is a significant shift to the online. In the past year and a half has certainly pushed that even further. So now retailers are trying to balance their in-person, their in-store promotions, trying to pull people into those brick and mortar stores, along with what are they going to do to try and still pull in the online shoppers as well, because there's a demand on both sides. The key to that is what pricing model is going to draw customers. When you can sit at home and compare prices across all marketplaces with a click of a button, it makes it very difficult for these stores to try and be competitive. The comparison there is if you have the brick and mortars, it's a little bit more difficult to drive all over town trying to compare prices for one particular item and then hoping that they actually have that item in stock, which, as we've heard this season, may not be the case.
Yeah, absolutely. And sticking on the price, we're hearing a lot about increase of prices for many different reasons out there. But I would think you folks are keeping an eye on this as well. What do we need to think about this year as we're going out and expecting these price increases?
Well, I think the biggest expectation is you're going to see an increase, and you're probably going to see an increase across the board. And it's really the perfect storm this shopping season for that. We're seeing shortages on labor everywhere. Every store you go into right now has a now hiring sign, and they're looking for workers. You also have, transportation costs have increased. That ties into the shipping delays that we've heard so much about and the ability to get those things in. And that ties into the classic supply and demand problems that you'll see any shopping season. You have those high demand items, they'll usually go fast. Well, now if there's a decreased supply, it's going to make that even worse. The other one that hits consumers probably more at home and not necessarily in the retail marketplace are energy costs. We're expecting energy costs to rise almost 25% this season. And so it's really important for consumers to take that into account as they're preparing for the upcoming winter season. I mean, as we both know, Wisconsin winters can be painfully cold. So the heating costs and the amount of energy to keep that is going to be a little bit higher this year. So they need to budget accordingly.
When does the price gouging talk kind of come into the conversation? Because we are hearing across the board of inflation and everything, but when are we really starting to like cross that threshold of we think we're getting gouged on an item potentially?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the price gouging really only triggers when the governor declares a state of emergency, or he makes a declaration that certain parameters and things have to be put in place. And that's when there's limitations on when retailers can price things within a certain range. And so for this particular market, it really is just the supply and demand in the marketplace, and really consumers having to be a little bit more savvy and recognizing what they're going to pay and where they're going to pay it. It's probably not uncommon to see an item that you thought was a pretty good deal, actually, or I should say, last year may have been significantly cheaper. And this year, you're not going to find that same price. And your first inclination, as you mentioned, especially given the past year and a half, is to think that it's a price gouging. But then when you compare that across, other marketplaces, you're going to see, no, that really is the price this year.
Yeah, definitely doing your homework is a must this year. Turning our attention to gift cards because gift cards continually to be a trouble, not only on the scamming side of things, but just in general with the fine print. What safety tips do you offer us for that?
Well, with gift cards, if you're going to be purchasing them in store, one small security measure you have is they typically have to be activated at the register, but not always the case. And sometimes there's a workaround to that. So the best thing you can do is look at the packaging, look at the back. If you're able to see if that scratch off and the pins are exposed, if they are, you certainly don't want to buy that card. Another is to read the fine print on those particular gift cards. Some of them will have certain time parameters and when you have to use it. Some of them actually come with fees. If you don't use it in a certain amount of time, the inactivity fees can stack up pretty quick. And so, you get or give a gift card at Christmas and you forget about it, and all of a sudden you want to use it in the next fall, and a $50 gift card is now worth $10.
Finally, too, on the gift card resale. So if you see them popping up on like an eBay or a third-party site, would you recommend buying gift cards from people, I guess, in general?
Yeah, it's a great question. That is one thing I would not recommend that you buy online. I would say there's a high chance that card's already been used and you have no way of verifying its true value. They may provide you and say, hey, the card that we're going to give you is these PIN numbers and that particular code, and you might check it, but you don't know that you're actually checking it on the right site either. So it's a pretty easy way to get yourself scammed.
All right, Michael, you've made it through your first interview and you have shared some great information. If people want to learn more on these safety tips and more, where can we go to?
Well, I would encourage everybody to go to our website, which is www.datcp.wi.gov. And we have a long list of consumer tips to help you in a wide area.
All right. Well, Michael, thank you. Looking forward to having you on the show again, and good luck on the shopping season. I know you'll have a safe one for sure, because if you don't, then I've got a lot of questions for you.
Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate it. Take care.
Bet. And as Michael said, check out the website for other tips out there. They've got a whole slew of great information for you, and we want to make sure you stay safe this holiday season. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
after you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from the Better Business Bureau, our friend, and the first time doing an in-person interview together, the team, Tiffany Schultz. Well, I guess our team, but Team Schultz. Tiffany, welcome back to the show. Nice seeing you. Nice seeing you in person. We met when we first talked about doing this. You reminded me that you came to the studio, and so what do you think this second go around? Does it change?
It looks the same. Everything's in the same spot. It's just a small little studio. And
except with no fireplace. I like when you said that, no fireplace.
It's great to be in person, though.
We're glad to have you here. And all this month, we're going to look at different shopping safety tips. You have a background, which really works well in the shopping world. So this also, you're getting like the inside track here on Talking Fitchburg. I'm just saying. And of course, BBB rocks. But we're going to talk about Cyber Monday tips, which I think this year, and we see it by trends that there's going to be a ton of online shopping. So tell us a little bit about Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday has turned into one of the top shopping days of the year. But before you go online, we want you to be careful because there are scammers out there who are throwing up fake websites. We want to make sure that you are on the correct website, the official website, so that you get your product and your personal information isn't stolen. So be very careful while you're out there.
Are you guys, as BBB, are we preparing for more because the shipping is the delays in shipping? They're saying we need to shop earlier. So are we expecting more crime because of that? I'm drawing a blank here, but that need of, oh my gosh, we might not be able to get those gifts this year.
Scammers follow the news and they know what consumers are looking for. And if they can't find it in the store, well, the scammer can throw up a fake website with the product at a great price. But if you don't know what to look for, you could be caught in a scam. So super important. Know what website you're on. If you click on a link and you think that it's taking you to the official website, check your URL. It may be an unfamiliar source. Don't order from unfamiliar sources before you go ahead and do your homework. Start with bbb.org. Start there. Do your research. See if you can find any information on the business. It's always great to do an internet search too, where you can Google the business name, customer reviews. Google the business name, read any customer complaints, and then do the same with scam. You're going to get a lot of information to be able to move forward to see if that business really is a legitimate business.
I can just remember conversations where you say, make sure you do your homework before you head out and do that stuff. Homework, gotta do it. Also keeping the antivirus software or just your different phone, whatever, up to date, so important.
When you have an update on your phone, your tablet, your computer, it's not meant just to be swiped away. We want you to take that immediately because there are additional security settings in there. And it can save you from sharing your personal information, any type of pop-up that would come up. So go ahead, take that download immediately when it's available, not when you're forced to.
Yeah, so important. Also, price check before you buy. Can't imagine why you'd want to do this.
The lowest price might not be the best price. It could be misleading on a website, so really read that fine print. Maybe there's shipping involved. If you have to pay for shipping on one site, but you don't have to pay for shipping on another site, it may not be the lowest price. Maybe there's a rebate that you have to fill in. So do your homework, read that fine print, and don't always go for the lowest price.
Yeah, I like the comparing too because a lot of it's amazing that same toy can, it can fluctuate really significantly. And it seems like the no-name places is where it really changes, but that's just an observation, not necessarily true, but still want to do that homework. Using the credit card, this one stands out to me, and I've now officially switched to doing this because of you, Tiffany.
We talk about this almost every month.
We certainly do.
Use a credit card, not a debit card. A credit card is going to give you additional protections that a debit card will not. Be wary if a website asks you to pay with a gift card or pay via wire transfer or any type of electronic wallet. That's usually a red flag for a scam. In addition, when you use your credit card, you usually get some type of point too. So there's rewards in the end.
That may or may not be why I signed up for the credit card, but that's definitely a big thing there. Something that I know we'll talk about in late December and January is the return policies. But as you're buying this stuff up front, especially on a Cyber Monday, it's got to be there might be some red tape there that you want to learn about.
You always want to look at the return policy before you go ahead and click the purchase button or buy it in store. Retailers they're not required to take a return, so keep that in mind. But the majority of them do, and since the COVID pandemic happened, a lot of them are more lenient on what they're taking back. But make sure that you research. If you find something that's final closeout or last day only type ad, that might not be returnable. So really pay attention to what you're buying and what that return policy is, because the worst thing that could happen is you're going to give it to the gift recipient. They're going to want to return or exchange it, and then it's going to be difficult and not hassle-free on their end.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. If people buy early this year, like they're buying now or have been buying up to this point, we have been doing that. And I'm like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to return this after December 25th. Like, that's a huge deal this year.
Get a gift receipt too. That will help make your return hassle-free, but you do want to pay attention to how many days you can return that. So if you were purchasing in early October, it's a 90-day return policy, there may not be enough time to return after Christmas. Also, if you are shopping in store, you want to pay attention to who you're purchasing from. If you're purchasing from a temporary retailer, are they going to be available after the holidays to make that return?
Yeah, that's a big one right there. We see a lot of pop-up places during Halloween and leading into the holiday season. Finally, just watching out for phishing scams, always a must, but we'll probably see an increase here right around the holidays.
Scammers are taking advantage of consumers ordering online, and what that means is that your purchase is getting shipped to you, and they've taken advantage of that where they will send you a text message or an email saying that there's problems with shipping or you're eligible for a free gift, and they want your personal information. So if you do receive an email like that, especially for shipping, and they're telling you that your package is delayed or they need additional information, go back to your original order, go to the shipper website, and see where that product is in transit.
Yeah, super important there. And that last one really is great in the Cyber Monday purchasing there. Certainly the emails, I've already seen them, and I have nothing online to delivery, but boy, have I seen plenty of emails just like that. If people want to learn more about all the safety tips we're talking about, where can they find more information?
We have a great holiday page on bbb.org.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time, and nice seeing you in person. And all this month, we're going to be together giving more shopping safety, so stay tuned for that. For now, we're going to take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show for today, I want to thank Tiffany Schultz for helping us all out all this week with tips from the Better Business Bureau, and Michael over at Department of Ag, Trade, Consumer Protection. We're wrapping up with this. If you need something to watch this weekend while you're enjoying that turkey, tune into Fact TV. Have a good holiday break.